Hi everyone, welcome to today's webinar. First of all, thank you very much for expressing your interest in migrating to Australia. As I promised, this section I would like to showcase the successful cases I did in the past. On top of that, I would like to show you the benefits of being an Australian permanent resident. And as a bonus, I want to showcase how I actually did it to obtain results for my clients. So this is really good one. I want you to enjoy it, and let's dive in. So first one, I want to show you that Australia is really a diversified society, and then 60% of Australian population growth were actually contributed by overseas migration. Right, and the top country is still from UK. Now, if you go out the street, you can see lots. If you ask around, you see that lots of them they have connections from overseas. So it is fine here. You have different culture, different background, and complete different religions. That it's fine too. It's really diversified and a lot of tolerance in this society. Everybody working together towards a better future for the Australia. First of all, being Australian permanent means you have full rights of your own asset. It might be very familiar with lots of people if you're from England, but for I know lots of candidates if you're from different country. This might not be the case. If you are from South Africa, from China, from India, that is probably not the case that you own what you own now, because your regime or some reasons or there is insecurity in the society. That is really difficult to maintain. Sometimes you have the property, you have rights. The other day, someone gonna take away from you. But Australia is really safe and peaceful and a very organized society, which means you are 100% safe here. You have a bank account, multiple bank accounts, as long as you follow the law, and you'll be okay. So I would like to emphasize this is really important to a lot of candidates, and if you try to invest in Australia, it's 100% safe here. And I would like to show you this is not just a statement by Law Camden. It is actually a rule of right within our act, which is Property Rights Act. Our second benefit I would like to show you as a permanent resident, your children will enjoy the top education, international education, where we value really key elements here. And I would like to elaborate them a little bit here. So all the children in Australia, they have free access to state schooling. Free access. All the children, they have free access to state schooling. And the quality of state schools are very good quality of schooling. And all the state schools have lots of fundings from the state government and from the Commonwealth government. And the Australian education focus on these key elements, including integrity, honesty and trustworthiness, freedom, fair go, doing your best, understanding, tolerance and inclusion, care and compassion, responsibility and respect. That is how Australia educates their next generation. That is how Australia look like here. So if you want your child or children to have a fair go, and you want to be respected, and you want to respect others, and you want them to have high level of integrity, that is the best time and best place for your children to learn here in Australia. And of course, you want to go to a private school, that's up to you as well. But all public state school, the quality of state school is really good. And if you come from different culture backgrounds, often school will provide you additional support just to help you to involve with the school everyday activities. So I know a lot of students, when they first came here, they were a little bit anxious, but soon, just within 2 or 3 weeks, they make a lot of friends and they will never want to go back again. So this is second benefit of being Australian permanent residents. It's that your children will access to free education and to access to top education in the world. Thirdly, I would like to tell you, as a permanent resident, you know you live in a fair world, fair society. This is not just a claim, a statement. This is how we operate in our fair legal system. We have 3 levels of powers, which called the separation of powers. That's how the Constitution is formed. We have 3 levels of power, including the judicial power, who is the court. The court interprets the law, right? They interpret law. That we have a parliament, they make a law, legislative power, and an executive power, who is the government, the leader of government, which is the prime minister. But governments, we have election. You go to the election, and all civil residents, Australian resident citizens, you have rights and you have responsibility to elect your prime minister. So 3 levels of separation power to ensure that you have a fair go in the whole system. It is not who say you're wrong and you're wrong. Your case, if you have a dispute with the Labor, you go to the tribunal and explain to the tribunal. It is not who has power on you and they can control you. So that's third benefit of being Australian permanent resident. It's that you enjoy a very fair legal system and you could pretty much 100% safe here. And I would like to introduce Queensland because I live in Queensland and I think that's best state. I don't understand why people go to Sydney. Queensland, Brisbane, we like it so much. Of course, we have a Gold Coast nearby, and we have a very, very close community. And we can go to Sydney by car, by a plane, so we still can go there. We have a lot of places to visit. If you want to explore something like that, you go to this website, and that's a lot of things you can do in Queensland. Outdoor activities. This Australia is particularly very popular for outdoor activities. If you're an outdoor person, that's a heaven for you. We have activity including fishing, hiking, camping, sailing. You don't need a massive investment for this type of hobbies. There's everywhere you can go, and we all live nearby the sea. So really, you can go and enjoy a lot of activity. This place I wanted to introduce, Australia is actually the best place for the children. It's heaven for them. They go camping anywhere they like, in the mountain, near the beach. And that's a lot of children's park and fantastic, great maintenance children's park. This is, before you, I'm just showing a few examples, which it's actually really, really rare. So really can explore a lot of parks and huge parks. It's free to use, and we have free barbecue for families to use, which you can use the gas barbecue for 3 hours. So lots of birthday parties are actually held in the parks for free. So it is fantastic place for children to enjoy their time. And that's examples. A few parks. They are actually in Brisbane, and yeah, I think that's heaven for the children. And then if you compare the weather, I think that's brilliant weather here compared to UK. Can you imagine? Right, yeah, and below I show you some of the link where you can find information about fishing, about camping Australia, and Brisbane, for example, Brisbane playground. If you go to different states, they have playgrounds as well. So you just search around. That's so many options and so many opportunities for the kids to explore. And I think as long as they are here, they never want to leave. They never want to leave. This is heaven for children. Now I introduce myself. I'm a registered migration agent. My mission is actually to help skilled professionals and business owners to immigrate to Australia with the least stress and least time. I'm in particular really good in global talent independent, business innovation and business investment visa, supporting innovation in South Australia and general skill migration, and employee sponsors. So I am really good and skill type of visas. If you are professionals, that's what I want to help you. In particular, I'm really great at presenting clients' portfolios, your portfolios, to the immigration. So it's not only impressive but also appealing. So I would like to show you that it's not my work. It's not completing the form or just routine job. I am involved with all of the applications. I am the person who present the case. So it is I want the clients have guaranteed results. It's not a trial or error game. It has to be, we meet this requirement and we want this result. So I'm really good at negotiating with different levels of government, including the local government. For example, the Brisbane and Logan City Council, state government, federal government. So different level of government, because we really want to work together with help to maintain integrity of this Australian immigration system. And if we have anything we want them to improve, and we provide submission to them. So presenting the best interest of my clients is actually my only goal. I want everybody to obtain their result within the legal scope. I make sure every time I submit, I hit the spot and get the result. And for my background, I want to introduce you. I actually was migrated from China. My hometown is a very small town. Maybe you can find in a corner. That's my house, but you can't find it here. I migrated to the UK when I was about 18. With my parents, I spent a few years working different jobs. But before I migrated to UK, I was actually a primary school teacher. And I was very dissatisfied. I was dissatisfied with the education system in China. I was very engaged helping children. But at the time, the system was terrible, and I think that they were not helping children whatsoever. There were so many lies, and I felt if I continue doing that, I might produce more damage than benefits. So I left. I was very frustrated with the system. If I can't contribute to society, I'd rather just not doing any more damages. That's what I felt. So after I migrated to UK, I did various jobs, including I thought about that I work in the NHS as a translator, and I work in mental hospitals as well. So I help with the people's mindset, and I eventually obtained my psychology degree. I was interested in how our mind shape our future. It is not about our ability to shape our future. It is how we think to shape our future. I use this method. If I want to talk about psychology, that will be pages, and will be endless. But today I would just like to outline it's how you want things to get done, and that's you get your result. If you don't want, you will never have it. So as I put on my first page there, my web page there, I said I only help with limited clients, which means if you You have to be a good fit for me. If you don't believe your ability, if you don't have the strong desire, you don't want to make it, you want to nice to have thing, I don't help you. You go to next door, help someone else to do that for you. But I am only helping for someone who has a desire and who believe this can bring them benefits. It is not just a passport. It is not just a permanent visa and sitting in the drawer. It is actually you believe something will change. Because relocation, sometimes it's a huge decision. It is not just about moving one place to another. When you relocate, your mindset changes. You adapt to new situation. You never want to go back the old time again. I understand you might be very satisfied in your situation. I do not want you to commit anything. I do not want you to have commitment if you really satisfy your situation. But if you want to improve, you want to become better of yourself, that's the person I want to work with you. So today, following session, I would like to discuss with you about how actually get results based on this experience and as well as my understanding of the legal system. Now, in front of you, you might feel, what's this image about? This is actually the reality. This is the reality. The reality about this physical world. Okay, so we see things. We observe things. We observe things not because this is a reality. We observe things because what we want to observe. We only see negative news. For example, for this crisis, for the current crisis, coronavirus crisis, you have website everywhere. You have news everywhere. That's about negative news. If you are only drawn to negative news, you only adapt to the negative news. You only read negative news. I actually have different type of news every day, which is a lot of positive news. I read a lot innovation news and it's really exciting. And when I read more exciting news, it happens to me I read even more. This is really because what we want to change our world. We have to change our mind. We choose what we want to see. So in front of you, it's actually at particles between. This is really the other theory where I think I want to. I'm not really good at it, but my understanding of this physical world, which is quantum information, quantum mechanics, it works really, really about the society. It's how we perceive the future, how we perceive the reality depends how we want it perceived. Okay. I want to place this picture as nothing to do with me. Bruce Lee has physical strength. I'm nowhere near to him. But you can see, if you read listen to his interviews, you read to he's someone who's really into his mind. He built his physical strength with his mind. And then that's actually Bruce Lee is my role model as well in terms of his mind. And now I am I have 2 passports. Although I came from China, I no longer have Chinese passport. So I only have these 2 passports. These 2 passports, it doesn't mean that it's just ID. It means someone has courage to change one environment to another environment, and they have courage again to change a second environment to a third environment. Every time when I change situation or when I relocate to another place, I change my mind. I'm no longer the same person as before. When I look back my old time, I never want to go back that again because I have already evolved. Human being is about evolve. If we don't evolve, for example, for this crisis, lots of people still draw in the negative news. They feel hopeless. They don't want to move ahead. But others, they take this opportunity to evolve. They take this opportunity as a great opportunity for them to really think sharp. So, and I want to say, this is not migration. No, it is nothing about. It is about relocation and change your mind and change your self-image to become a person you're very satisfied. And I want to show you, I went to visit a lot of places, just a few pictures, and I enjoy traveling. Hence I know a lot of culture. I understand a lot of people's thinking. I'm really much interested in how a society, one society, they behave one way and the other society behave an entirely different way, and how people behave in one society, they change behavior when they move to another society. So it's really because the environment is so strong. You are stuck in the environment. If you want a real change, if you dissatisfy your situation, you want real change, you need to move, physically move your place, physically move your family, physically move your home. Once you move, things will come differently. So this is London. So the first page is London. This is I think Jerusalem. I went to Jerusalem. That every time I go to different places, I just feel so different. How we actually are part of the intercourse, but how we actually perceive differently. For example, if I went to the Cambodia, lots of people actually woke up 3 a.m., 4 a.m. They work really hard. But for some countries, they are really laid back. Okay, so if you really want to change your life, or maybe not, it's about not your income, but about your spiritual level of satisfaction, that relocation, move to one place to another place, it's great opportunity for you to do so. And I think this is Egypt. I don't know. I think Jordan. That's Jordan. So I visit, and I also visit. So I couldn't find any more pictures. But every year I want to do international travel. I want to change mindset, even just a few weeks. I want to completely switch my mindset to another mode. And I am still the case. I'm helping people to migrate to Australia. But I'm also searching myself to migrate somewhere else. I might want to decide to go back to UK or live in Europe or US. It is not about the country. It's about how we change our location to change our mind. All right. So this is actually Australia. Just in UQ. University of Queensland, New Zealand. All right. That's different. And before I migrate to Australia, I want to tell you about myself. I was no way as a business owner. I was actually law clerk working in a law firm. So you can see I hardly got enough income to support me. So on the right hand side, you can see I was actually working as a waiter in the evening after I finished work in the law firm. Can you imagine? So, but I'm still thankful for them to give me opportunity to work. And if I just climb up a ladder, one year by another year, I could never achieve nowadays like this. So this is about courage to change one place to another place. Help me to change myself. I have changed a lot, and what I have achieved, I could not imagine 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Because people tell you that you're only capable for this. If you never try, you cannot see yourself. You're actually more than capable to do lots of things. Right? As I promised, this is one. I want to show you a few successful cases, lots of them. As I indicated, all of my successful cases are really based on Australian immigration law and policy, and I understand deeply about the legal system. I don't work outside the legal system. Everything I work, obtain the result, it's within the legal frame, within this level of separation of powers. And that's its fundamental importance for our work. Okay, now it's about, I will show you, promise you, I will show you cases. But now I want to say, why I work differently, why I have this high level of confidence. I claim, I tell myself and tell all of the candidates, it is not about data entry. I actually get really good result. I don't can make clients if I don't have 100% confidence. Now, the first rule I apply when I work, it's actually a neutral rule. So what is a neutral rule? So when we say it's about a dictionary meaning, okay, so I'll give you an example of this one. This is one of the case I dealt with. So this is the clients we did before who was on 457 visa. This 457 visa has already abolished, but at the time he actually left the company for 9 months and did not inform department. He was not my client, he was someone else's client. But then he received a notice of intention to cancellation and he was really panicked. He approached me at the time after he left the company for 9 months. Now, if you're thinking about this one, really that's no case because he already breached the rule, right? Breached the rule, they were going to cancel it. So what I did was actually very interesting here. It is when the case officer with the Department of Immigration making the decision trying to cancel this person's visa, they said, quote this, that we have intention to cancel this visa under, you can see on the left hand side, for the purpose of paragraph 116 bracket 1G bracket of the Act. Okay, and the above that paragraph it states that these Regulation 2.43 of the Migration Regulations 1994 outlines the prescribed grounds for cancelling a visa. Alright, so that case officer, he laid down specific legislation say why I'm going to cancel a visa. But I'm just giving a chance. Tell me why I should not cancel, right? So it's really dangerous situation. And that's what I found he made error. He made error with the law itself. The law Regulation 2.431 bracket 1 bracket KB itself does not apply to this case because this case, these clients was actually under labor agreement. So that it's a really good case of neutral rule. The law doesn't say that person should be cancelled. So I just told the case officer, basically that's what I said. This company is a labor agreement company, hence your prescribed grounds are not within the scope of this act. You have no power to exercise this cancellation. As simple as that. And we have results saying I am not going to cancel, right? You can see that I have decided that's no ground for cancellation of your visa. That's the third paragraph. I have decided that's no. So this was sent by the case officer. So as I mentioned it, right? As I mentioned it before, this is using neutral rule, which is what it's supposed to be the law. What is the meaning of the law? The meaning of the law is these clients does not subject to this cancellation, right? So as one successful case. The second successful case, I would like to introduce you in the second rule of interpretation. It is called Golden Rule. Golden Rule, what is Golden Rule? If you think of Golden Rule, it's really about, for example, a rule of statutory or legal document interpretation which announce a shift from ordinary sense of the word if the over contents of the document demands it. What does it mean? It means if the law says A, now you should not do A, but the law of interpretation, when they draft the law, is really long time ago. This intention is actually B. Then we should interpret in B instead of A. Okay, this is called Golden Rule. What's the real intention? Now I give you this case. Okay, this case, it's the client so the reason I'm giving you complex case is not everybody has this complexity, okay? So if you're easy, yeah, that's great. If you're complex, we have a capacity to do that as well. So this is about work rights. Someone wants to apply for work rights, and they approach another immigration lawyer and got rejected. And they approached me. What's the situation? Yes, the case was weak because the candidate did not have the case officer sent out lots of checklist. They request a lot of information, ask the client to provide rental agreement, utility bills, bank statement, lots of requests, but the candidates did not have any of that. So rejected the work right. So they approached me and asked me, what can I do? Because I don't know why they think I'm able to do that. So upon checking the legislation, I found something like that. The companion reason we use, it is actually defined by dictionary only. So what we mean by companion is someone what you believe you have strong consideration of this situation. The person is really powerful. You are companion as a powerful, irresistible way, right? Now the candidates, yeah, the case officer asked them to provide rental agreement, utility bills, but the client didn't, hence was rejected. And then when I submit, I asked this. I told the case officer like this: evidence of rental agreement or utility bills can be helpful to calculate how much the applicant needs to cover his daily expenses. However, the policy does not provide guidance showing these documents are of necessity. Your office is invited to consider the totality of evidence, the applicant's statement, as well as statistics regarding the cost of living in Brisbane. So this is a golden. Why we are using golden rule here? The law says, introduce you to say, I want you to provide evidence show you don't have, you can't sustain in Australia without work, right? So the law says guidance, please provide this as example of rental agreement, utility bills, and that. And then really I said here, it's the intention of the law is not asking rental agreement. The intention of the law is asking whether the client can sustain without work or not. So the document itself is not of necessity. You should not ask at all. This is called golden rule. Although it is a bit complex here, but you can see that's where you're using the second rule to argue in favor of our clients, right? And the third rule, I promise you that will be third and fourth. That's it, okay? The third rule is about mischief rule. Okay, so mischief rule it's aiming, finding a mischief and defeat in a statute and to implement and remedy for the same. What do we mean by this? We say, hey, the law actually was wrong. The law was wrong, was not accurate. So how can we interpret in a modern way? So this is really important of interpretation here. Really, really important. Because a lot of clients, when you go to website, you check this, that, and you say, oh, no, I can't get it. Oh, no, I can get it. I can't. Because that is the law. They said, bam, 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 bam. But I interpret really different to yours. I interpret differently because I dig in. I understand. I go on to say, what is actually the meaning in this circumstance? Now, I give you this really good example. And this is about student visa. Now, this student visa, it's funny because the student itself, who's under 18, by law, he must have a legal guardians, right? He got guardians. And by law, the legal guardians, it said that has to have a relative as a legal guardian if the parent cannot enter Australia. So he has a mother, but his mother could not enter Australia because he has work, and she has a work, and she's a single mother. So there is no one who's able to help with the child about become legal guardian. So the department asked like 5 times to another agent, asking, can you have a relative about this legal guardian? So this mother actually has a friend who's not related at all and who wants to be a legal guardian. Now my argument here, and then they could not approve the child visa. And the particular school has no other options of accommodation, no other options. Now, and I said, okay, what is the legal guardian required? And this situation, what is the most important work here? If this person is, so it is about this child has a legal guardian. So what we want to do is, I then went to speak to the mother, say, can you appoint the friend to be a legal guardian, but not within Australian legal law, legal frame, but according to your own country's legal frame. But of course, she said back to me, no, because we went to the court, the court has no idea what needs to be done. So I just asked her, oh, well, how about you drafting a legal documents? You drafting a case documents in front of a solicitor, just making a statement and visa. So that was my a request here. I said here, we therefore request your office to final this application as soon as possible, as these candidates already missed critical period of enrollment. Please note that preventing legal guardian to provide the welfare arrangement is also incompatible with the Family Law Act 1975. So here, I was actually arguing that the law set A, which is the law says you need a relative. It was incorrect. Why? Because not just relative can be a legal guardian. You got what I mean here, okay? Not just a relative can be a legal guardian. So the immigration law won't say, hi, I want you to be a relative. Normally a relative. And relative, that's okay. If you don't have a relative, no. I tell you what, still at this moment, I think majority of student agents, they don't even know the clause here. So at this really moment, lots of them still don't know. So the immigration policy says I want a relative, but they prevent because they only want a relative a legal guardian, and in fact this person was only a friend. If you prevent someone to be a legal guardian for someone who doesn't have a legal guardian at the moment, it is actually conflicting with the Family Law Act. So we were really interpreting, saying it is wrong. You need to argue and the other way around. So this is third type of interpretation. I promise you that will be a final one. Purposive rule. Proposed leave, it's actually go further. It's very hard one. The hardest approach. It is go further by seeking to determine the Parliament intention in passing the Act. So what is the intention? So we don't need to look at the law anymore. We don't need to read the law. We just say, what was the meaning? What was the intention at the time? Because why we are saying this way? You know, when Parliament MPs, they argue in the government in the Parliament, and they propose these, and they go on to talk. Not themselves drafting. It is actually civil servants they drafting the law. So civil drafting the law, and they might, because they're doing the work all day in, day out. They're familiar with the legal terms. But sometimes they might draft differently. Okay, so this proposed approach is actually highest tax where you can only use for you really understand intention of the particular law. And I want to emphasize here that this is how I obtain results for my clients. For using 4 rules, 4 interpretation, I use each one in favor of the clients. I use each one in favor of clients. So all the results are obtained under the legal frame. And I want to express that lots of clients' application are actually approved on the 4th rule, purposive rule. I argue intention of the government. I argue the intention of the passing law. And that's really hard to find, but I'm going to show you lots of successful case I argued with these 4 texts. For example, this is a judicial, this is a character issue. Well, really interesting one. It's about purposive law, purposive text. This person was actually got a permanent resident, but the law changed in terms of character. So he actually committed some kind of burglary. Burglary. But after that, they refused him on return resident visa because they say the law have changed. Okay, and then I went to tackle this law, the actual law. When they passed law, I think it's 2014. Yes, they passed the law in 2014. The clients commit crime in 2012. So my action is the intention of the law when they passed in 2014 was actually tackle someone who commit crime from that moment, not to punish someone who already commit crime before. Right? You get what I mean here. So the intention of the 2014 Act was actually to tackle someone commit crime after that very moment, not before. Therefore, because the client was not commit crime before 2015, and therefore he was satisfied character. He should be satisfied. He was satisfied character requirement before that date, and therefore he should be satisfied character requirement now. So no one can question, and he was really concerned. Oh, of course, the results we got his permanent visa approved it, and he came back say, what happens if they tackle this issue again? They call me again about this one. I just told him, we have already won the case. Why are you concerning? If you're concerning, no worries, come back to me. I will get what you want. Here, I was not arguing about the client was having good character, the client was a minor event or anything. I did not say any of that. It was not relevant. It was irrelevant, right? So this is the first rule I mentioned, a purposive rule, which is really tackling and emphasizing the intention of the government. So if you really go to website, search about wording, sometimes you read it is pure English, you feel you understand them. You don't, because you interpret differently. Sometimes you are actually illegible, and you say, no, I'm not that good. I'm not that good. That's why I heard a lot of people talk to me about this. I don't think I'm that good. Because we actually use different rule, different text to interpret the law. Now, I'll show you a lot of cases we did in the past. This is 188 in business investor, which require 1.5 million investment. 188 significant investment requires 5 million investment. Approved it. The client's happy. We have 132 significant business investment, 1.5 investment into his own business. Global talent independent. Welcome to this one. Very fast processing time. Permanent visa. 188 innovation and then business investment. And variety of business employee sponsor visas, including 187. This one is supporting innovation in Australia, in South Australia. different jobs for A2. We got different lots of for A2s. That's supporting innovation in South Australia. And it's really, you can see that we have a really good communication with the government. Yeah, we have a really good government in the governments. Yeah. So, okay, so I think I missed this one. Yeah, we have very good communication with the government. I worked with the 3 levels of government here. And this, it is someone who got application rejected and asked us to appeal for them. Normally nowadays, I will just tell the client, if you have case, I will just tell you have a case. I believe I can win the case. I will just tell you. So this is case, if we overturn the case, the AAT, the tribunal actually refund 50% of the application fee. And so we won this case. 189, the client was approved 2019. Yes, this is really critical one as well. He was a management consultant, and then it's a drama for a story. And he actually was caught that when the department called in the company, the HR people talked to the department that person was only a contractor. So his case was actually wait there for 1 year. Nobody touched the application, nobody, and he called like more than 100 times. And when he approached me, I said, you just need to let me handle this. You stress out as a manager consultant. He's really competent. For 1 year, 12 months, 365 days, wanting someone to give you feedback. And the department did not do anything. And what I actually wanted to, we actually provide more submissions. And I want to ask, I asked department this question. Can you just finalize, really, it's not actual wording, but the meaning was finalize this application within your administrative procedure. You need to have a type of frame. Oh, well, that's, you got it nowadays. So it's actually very difficult nowadays to have a 189 independent skill migration. He was really lucky and really excited. So 186 direct entry, we have that one approved it. We review this case, and you can see the tribunal set aside. Okay, you can see the end of wording here. The tribunal set aside. What means set aside? It's the tribunal say the immigration decision was wrong, and then the tribunal substitutes a decision that application is approved. So the tribunal just say, hey, immigration, you're wrong. I want to approve now. So set aside, reaffirm, or that's different. So set aside means they want the department to remove the immigration, to remove that decision of refusal. So we got this one overturned as well. So partner visa, I'm very good at this as well. Partner visa, no problem with that. Student visa, bunch of student visa approval. RRV, and this is the case which I mentioned to you, who actually had a character issue. And then we have skill assessment, bunch of skill assessment with different occupations. You can see priority. This is really interesting. If someone's sitting for a tribunal, they were actually waiting there forever. But this case, we are able to obtain a request for hearing within the first 2 months. And you can check the wording here. I have decided that we should give priority to this review application. This application should soon be allocated to the member for consideration. Awesome, very great. So was very satisfied, because if you wait there for a review, people just think they just need to wait. I don't understand, really. No, not really the case. If you have a case, we always can, bring forward to make decision. Okay, so this is the case about the student visa, which, yes, I have already mentioned that priority requests. And yes, I've got a few priority requests, and sometimes I have to complain and ask them to just do it. So they got back to me. Right, this is student visa. RRV. Yeah, we got approved. RV he never returned to Australia a single day in the last 5 years, so we still got his RV approved it. And I want to talk to you about the key factors I'm really interested in, and areas we work in different sectors. I want to emphasize we really work a lot in ICT industry, including data science, including education, online system, marketing, financial technology, trading, investor engine, smart contract, advanced manufacture, including automation, 3D printing, agriculture. We are really focusing on satellite photography, soil management drones, medtech. I think that's 3 areas, including device, modern and digital health solutions. Then my legal strengths, my key strengths, not just legal, okay, because I provide consultant and consultation for companies outside Australia, including South Australia one, including the Tenerife one, including lots of other firms. So I assist multiple millionaires, business owners with their business visas. And I am able to pitch or present files for business applications, for in talent applications. So not just I help with applications, but we actually work closely with our industry shareholders, including our accountants. So when clients come here, if they want any other services, we also have a working partnership with a very good, trustworthy working partnerships where they can provide solutions for clients. It's not you come here, you have no options. You have lots of options and choices. So it is what we can provide service. Of course, as clients, you have a free right to choose whoever you want to work with. And banking, if you obtain permanent visa or any temporary visa 408 as well, you can actually open up bank with Commonwealth Bank outside Australia. And then once you enter Australia, and then you can just then go to the branch the nearest your house to pick your car, to activate your car, and then you can withdraw cash right away. So you can open a bank account while you're in Australia. So after your permanent visa is approved, right? And investment, we are working with Westpac as well. We are working with different area of legal work as well. So I'm specialized in immigration. We're working with commercial lawyer, criminal lawyer, family lawyer. We're also working with real estate agent if you want to purchase house and anything like that. We're working with business broker who can help you to search for good business, to business to invest. So talk to them if you want to. We also work with the auditor, translator, student agent, and money transfer companies. In the past, we worked with different huge companies, including in different areas, in different countries, medical, agriculture, recycling, plumbing, property, IT, consulting, lighting, lots of tourism, DP World. And we not just work with that. We have a few of offshore partners. In particular, UK. We have working with two UK firms. We also working with South African firm. We working with the different level of government, including state government, federal government. We're working with university. We are working closely with Flinders University, Griffith University. Local government, we're working really closely with Queensland government, New South Wales government, and the South Australian government. And we are in support of startups. And I want to introduce here, there's a few startups we really want to to support, and they are really now working with the area of blockchain and helping for the future of financial innovation. Okay, thank you very much for today's, and I hope it's not too lengthy for you, but I hope this one I actually provide enough of information for you to understand my work, to understand what I am good at and how I'm good at everything. Now, if you're really interested about this, we do free assessment. I only assist limited clients. If you believe you are qualified, please click the link below and run a free assessment. If you are really qualified, I will send you, I will able to help you with a free consultation. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.